Hey guys, Sharpend here. In this video, I'm going to walk you through Instrument Pack number 8, Omens Drumkit. So, in case you missed out, over the past year and a half, I've been releasing a bunch of free sample packs called Instrument Packs. So basically, these packs are a bunch of recorded live instruments, percussion, and Foley sounds that I got to record myself. And once I get to feature these in a track and finish the track, once I upload it, I also upload the corresponding samples that I used in the track as an instrument pack that you can download for free and use in your tracks. So in these walkthrough videos, I'm going to show you some of the sounds in the pack so you get an idea of how it sounds like, but I'm also going to show you how I used the sounds in the pack in a full track. So before I start this video, I want to give a short shout out to Venus Fury, which is a music production channel that made a video on my tutorial number 13 on how to use Foley to add some randomness to your tracks. They made a really cool video, and I'm going to link it in the description below if you want to check it out. And another short shout out to Mr. Fijuigi, where he commented on my video on how to make Mr. Fijuigi's vocal chops, which is really cool. So I'm going to link to that as well if you want to check it out. So now let's get to the video. So in this instrument pack, Omens Drumkit, there are a bunch of groups of sounds which are all divided here. So I'm going to walk you through some of the groups and how they sound like. So here we have some wooden board hits which sound like a kick drum. Here we have some bell sounds. And here's a nice bell loop. Then we have some branch hits, which are basically a bunch of plants grouped up together, and they're hitting various drum heads. Very good for adding some additional texture to your sounds. And here are some frog gyro sounds. Here's a one shot. Here's some metal keys. And the final group in this instrument pack is the metal wind chimes, which sound like this. So now that we've been through a selection of sounds from the pack, I'm now going to show you how I featured all of these sounds in a track. So sadly, the project file is a bit too big for my track Omens, which is the track that is corresponding to this instrument pack. So I'm going to preview all of the sounds by using the MP3, and then I'm going to go to the project file to show you only the instrument pack bits. So in the first recurring chorus, it sounds like this. As you can hear, there are a lot of sounds from the pack in the start already. There's the kick drum that sounds like this. It's the wooden board hit sound, and it has some slight distortion on top and some slight high-end boost to make it stand out a bit more and have some more punch. Here's how it sounds without these effects. Here's how it sounds with the effects. A lot bigger and stronger. And then there's the frog gyro one shot, which has some slight delay on top of it to give it some rhythm. Here's the delay. As you can see, the mix is very low, so it's very solo. And there's also some dimension expanding that only happens on the fourth gyro hit. Here's how it sounds like compared to... And this is because I wanted to make the fourth hit a bit special, since it also has some additional gyro sample that rises up. And it also has the bell hit sound, which gives us a short break from the drum loop and starts over. So the basic drum loop sounds like this. And then as we progress in the track, there's also some additional keys loop that is being added in. It sounds like this. Here's how it sounds solo. So this loop is fairly simple. As you can see, I took a lot of the mellow keys sounds and put them into one sampler so that I can create a basic loop. It sounds like this. And it adds a nice rhythm, and then I added quite a bit of effects on top of it. Let's see the effects. So I'm going to increase the volume by a bit so we can hear it better. And now effects wise, we have some chorus that is all the way on wet, and it's sort of subtle, you can't really hear too much of it. It just takes off some high ends and make it slightly more muddy and not have a very sharp attack sound. In addition to that, there's some auto panning that goes through the right and the left channel, like that. And then there's some vocoder. It's not vocoding anything, I'm just using how the vocoder changes the texture of the sound by using the formant shifter. So that makes it slightly less bright and a bit darker. So here's how it sounds normally. And with some vocoding, it will sound a bit darker, thanks to some formant shifting. And I'm also boosting some of the high mids and the treble around here to bring back some of the high frequencies that we lost in that process. There's some maximus, but I'm only using it to increase the gain, which is basically the volume of the sound. And then there's a tiny bit of hall reverb, which makes the sound sit in the back of the song. And then there's an EQ that the only thing it does is really just take out some annoying frequencies in the high mids area. So that is it for the basic drum loop in the start of the track. And then in the breakdown of the track, which is an orchestral breakdown with strings, it sounds like this. I used the mellow wind chimes, which is all of these. They sound like this soloed. Let's find them. Here they are. So as you can see, there are a bunch of effects. Here's how it sounds without effects. So as you can see, it's basically just some chopped up parts from one of the mellow wind chimes ambience samples. And then I added some convolution reverb of a church, which is very big and wide. 100% mix on a hall reverb, which makes it even wider. And then there's again some auto panning to make it sound interesting as it goes from the left ear to the right ear. And there's an EQ that only reduces the volume by a bit. I'm going to use it to increase the volume so we can hear it better. And as you can see, as the track progresses, the volume of this ambience goes up. And if I recall correctly, I'm also reducing the mix of the reverb as it goes to the very big chorus of the orchestral part. So in the very big chorus, there's a bit less reverb so that you can hear the high end a bit better and that it doesn't sound too muddy. So here it sounds pretty in the back and very muddy, 100% wet on the reverb. And then once we get to that orchestral chorus, it gets bigger by reducing the amount of reverb, and it gets a bit more to the front. Compared to this part, which you can hear, there's a lot less attack time on the wind chime sounds. So one final use that I had for this instrument pack was to take the exact same wooden board sound, which is this one, and to layer it on top of some room kicks, which are these. If I recall correctly, these are on Instrument Pack number 9, I'm pretty sure, so you can download it as well and combine the wooden board with these sounds to create a much wider sound and a very big and hard hitting sound. Here's how it sounds without these. Here's how it sounds with the room kicks. So these room kicks really help to make the kick hit a lot harder, since in the final chorus there are a lot of additional drums. There's some cymbals and stuff that really makes you need that hard hitting kick sound. So here's how it sounds. So these room kicks that you can layer on top of your wooden board kick sound can really help to let the sound stand out a bit more in the mix compared to the first recurrent chorus, which is only the wooden board sound. As you can hear in the first recurrent chorus, the kick is a lot drier, and that is pretty much it. If you'd like to hear how Instrument Pack number 8 sounds in a full track, check the description below. If you'd like, you can scroll through my YouTube channel or SoundCloud to download the rest of the instrument packs. Just click on any sound that has Instrument Pack in its title, and there should be a download link to it in the description below. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments below what subject you want me to cover up next time.